Hi everyone, Lolly here. Welcome to my channel and welcome to my little project. Today I'm going to make a little concertina book, and it's just a little book that you fold over and you can decorate the front and the back. And so what I'm starting with here is a really large watercolor paper that I've cut in half, and then I'm going to fold it into itself so I have all the pages are an even size. So about 4.5 hours of working on this that I recorded, and then bits and pieces that I didn't, but I'm cutting it down to as short as I can. And this morning I filmed the outro and the show and tell. So, but I did want to show, in case you haven't done this before or just want to see the process, that here I'm just making it one long book by putting washi tape in the middle of those two pages there. I didn't want to overlap the pages, then I would have lost a couple of pages. So the washi tape worked perfect, and then we're going to ink the edges. Now this magazine, you've seen me make ATC cards from it. I love it. It has a really pretty matte finish, but the pictures inside are just beautiful. And so I'm always trying to think of ways that I can use it. And so this book seemed like the perfect opportunity. Now, just like I do my ATCs and things like, even for Mini Moo, I think I had one for a little while, I have a template. And that was much easier to be able to put that on the magazine page and see which part I wanted to cut out. And so it's a great way to kind of narrow down when you have a big space. If you hold it up and you just put the template like in different spots around a piece of scrapbook paper or a magazine page, you'll be able to kind of hone in on that exact part that you want. So I love doing that. So I have to have quite a few pictures, so I'm going through finding different images and then using the template to cut them out. So here, the book is so cute just with those pictures. I could have just left it alone, and some of the pictures are going to get covered up. A lot of them are, but so here I'm cutting out the pictures for the back. And so I've picked the little page with the rocking chair on it. It's going to be the front cover, but so now we have to do the back side. And again, it's cute just like that with those pictures. I just love it. And it would have been a cute book just like that. But, you know, that wasn't the purpose of the project. So here I'm just using my little pastel crayons and making a rusty hinge, just because that's an old window and door. I don't know. I try not to think too hard about it, and grabbing what's sitting around here and, you know, trial and error a lot on different pages. But I like how each page came out. And so here I'm just cutting a little pie shape out of the clock so I can make it look like it's sitting behind that cabinet, because it wouldn't make sense if I just stuck the sticker over the top of the cabinet. So and then I'm just reaching for different embellishments and stickers that I have, and highlighting a lot, using like different markers and things like that to kind of make shadows or make colors a little more vibrant and stand out a little more. So these were papers that I ordered from Temu, and so I like to tear them out, and then if you highlight around them, it's to make it look more like the page, not that you just glued a piece of paper on top of another piece of paper. So that's what I'm trying to do here, is just highlight a little bit. And then the picture's really cool. I like it. It's in the front of an old house, but I'm just using the different browns and grays to bring those colors out. So here I'm just showing you I have finished the front. And so here I'm just putting some thread under this. I think it's a moth. It came from a Tim Holtz package. And so here we have the front part. And so now we're going to work more on the back pages. This is a metal, it looked like they were slides, that they had been broken apart or something. not sure exactly. I got them at the bins, but I'm just painting it here, using it as a frame. I'm going back to the book here and looking for a sentiment I could cut out of the magazine and make it apply to my picture. I like to go through magazines and see if you find a phrase or a title or something like that, and then see if you can make a picture around it. So, and that one says, if you're excited by what you're doing, other people will be too. So I'll leave you here with this just to kind of wrap it up, and we'll talk about it in just a minute. So here's the final. So the whole little book has just been just something creative for me to do. I love that magazine and the pictures in it. And so in the beginning, you can see that it was a pretty book just when I put the pictures from the magazine down. So I could have stopped there. The front page, I love the rocking chair. It has like this armoire behind it. And I had put this little metal plate on here. It says, life is about creating yourself. And so I still might work on that a little bit. I'm not sure if I'm finished with that, but let's, coffee in hand, and let's do a show and tell. Coffee mug says, bloom where you are planted. So, all right. So the first part, we're going to, let me move this over. All right, so cover. And it's just bits and pieces. So far, again, I may work more on the cover. I'm not sure. Sometimes when you're done with a project, you're just done. And these are the pictures in the background. And for this one, I just went over it with the little pastel crayons. And kind of just highlighted the colors here and there just to make it a little more vivid. I had the bird and I didn't know where to put it. So on the roof it went. So not to scale, of course, but just for fun. This little metal bee, I put rub and buff on so he was gold. Again, this was the picture from the magazine. This I tore out of, I don't know if it was a sticker, I can't remember. And then the clock, I cut a little pie piece out of it so it looked like it was behind that cabinet. And then the little candle and the camera are sitting here on the table with the vase. This was just a really pretty butterfly, and in a Tim Holtz package of stickers there was this autumn, and then there was an apple pie recipe, and then just a sticker that had some writing on there, and then these were all on the picture from the magazine. So this one I spent some time with my markers, and I went over the different colors, the browns, the grays in the background to make them stand out a little bit more. And then of course on her dress and her flowers, and then tried to blend a little bit so it wasn't just a piece of paper sticking on the page. So, and then the two little hearts I added at the end, and they are just these little Valentine hearts, and I just turned them backwards. So no beauty shines brighter than that of a good heart. So that was a fun page to do. And so just highlighting with markers or pastels or, you know, some kind of color, even if it's printed and it's really pretty, if you go in and you start to highlight, then it adds a little more dimension to your picture, makes it stand out a little bit. Here, this was just fun. The chair was on the magazine picture, and then there's a sofa, and I looked for characters that were leaning, and so I found these two, and then this was in one of the, I think they're Tim Holtz little phrases, I'm not sure. And then here, this was in the Tim Holtz snarky package of sentiments. So it says one of us was right and the other one is you. So and this was a coffee mug here, two of them sitting here on the table. And so I just put a clock for time, and the little kid sitting here, and it says there's nothing like a dream to create the future. So I think these guys are the future, right? The little ones. So this one was just fun. I put the book sticker down and it stuck, so I didn't get to move it. I don't like the stickers because they have the white edge on them, so I tried to cover it up a little bit. I meant to just have a stack of books on the stool that was on the magazine picture, and then my little key is supposed to say happiness here, like, you know, the key to happiness is reading and books. For me, I love that. So, and then in bits and pieces I had some rub-ons, and that's what these are here and part of this here. So, and this butterfly is kind of a, I don't know, looks like wood, but I got them at Hobby Lobby in the garden section over the flowers and things like that. So, and again, these are rub-ons, and these are just pieces of fabric that I stamped on a long time ago. So this would be the cover now, even though it's the last page. It's going to be the cover to this side, and I haven't yet, but I think I'm maybe going to put glossy accent on here so the bugs kind of shine and shimmer, but not sure what else I'm going to do with that. So then now we're actually on the back side. So here's the front side finished. It's hard to see, I know you're really close. So the fun part about a concertina is, now that I'm here on the back page, it's actually the cover to the next side. And so this is out of the Tim Holtz packet also, and then I just added the flowers and the lace, and I had these stickers are from Temu. And here I just loved her picture, so I colored in her dress, found a Tim Holtz frame, and it says, "Those who don't believe in magic will never find it." And so it says believe here, and kind of just left that one simple because I thought it was pretty. And the next one is, I kind of was just playing with this paper. It's actually like an index card, but has a little graph on it. And so I made this little grouping, and then I didn't know what to do with it, and I put this down here and it made a pocket. So I just made this little tag to put down in there and left it at that. This one is one of my favorite pages. These are little silver, they're buried over here in this stuff. They were like from slides. I got them at the bins, and I dug them out from the bottom of a table. If you know what the bins is, you just go into this big room and a big warehouse, and it's just tables and tables of things you just have to dig through. And so these were in one of the tables, and so they're silver. Painted it with some black gesso and then some different like teal colored acrylic to make the frame. And then I had the sticker that I put in there, and it says, "If you're excited by what you're doing, other people will be too." And I love that. And I just kind of plopped on some paint here and left it at that. So I like that page a lot. And the next pages, it was a picture of a fireplace in the back. I had the sticker, it says the perfect memory. I had these little embellishments. I glued that on there. There's a little leather strap right here, or maybe suede. A dream is a wish your heart makes. And I just cut out the little dog. I needed something here by the fireplace, and so I cut out a cactus and a little dog and put them on there. This page is just other things that I like. I like to sew and quilt, and so just added that page on here. I had these buttons. And so I put in my glue gun, I was short on glue sticks, so I had a glitter one, and I put that in there. I said, well, it won't show anyway, but then it gave me a chance to kind of highlight the flowers on the mannequin here, or the dress form. And then these are fabrics that I have used in projects lately, and so I tore those out, put that on there for a little color, and then of course the lace and the old machine. And then when we turn it over, we are back to the front cover. So really fun, not for any reason other than I just wanted to create it. And sometimes you just need to create things without having a reason to make it. And I love making these little books. They're so fun. Again, in the beginning, you'll see I cut it from a really large, it was a watercolor tablet, and it's really large. And so I cut the paper in half and then attached the two to make it this long. So this was really fun to make. So I'm going to go and finish editing the front part and do the voiceover for that. All right, guys. Thank you for watching my little project here. Hope you're all doing well. Have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you in the next video.